Something very interesting has just been brought to my attention, and I think a lot of you guys will definitely like what I've got to say. But on another end, I really wonder what you guys think about what circumstances this will happen under, how crazy it will be for XRP, and well, what I'm talking about is this right here. Scoop! Ripple IPO incoming. And I mean, I think every single one of us knows that Ripple will eventually go for an IPO. But Wrath of Kahneman is usually one of the best sources for XRP news, and he says ICO, but he means IPO, as something very specific is happening over in New York. They're looking for a shareholder communications senior manager. The specific position says, in this role, you'll be responsible for the communications and relationship management strategy and execution for key groups of existing and prospective investors, current shareholders, and financial analysts. In addition to the communications team, you will work cross-functionally with most teams at Ripple. This role reports directly to the SVP of People, Places, and Communications, which first of all shows just how huge Ripple is getting, the fact that you need somebody like this. But for the most part, it's obviously just investor relationships, build and maintain meaningful relationships with analysts, and educate existing and prospective shareholders and investors on the company's product, business strategy, and goals, yada, yada, yada. But we've got to understand, this is all pretty nice, but when exactly IPO? That question I get so often. And interestingly enough, this was just posted 2 days after the intellectual appeal was shut down. So most likely Ripple is a little bit more sure that this case is going to be over at some point. Whereas if the intellectual appeal came, perhaps they wanted to stall these hirings a little bit more. I just slammed my microphone, sorry for that. But I noticed a lot of people are not so sure if Ripple will IPO and what it would mean for XRP. Later, I'll get you guys a story on what I think the best course of action is for XRP. Today, we're just talking about this whole Ripple context, which is when IPO, when the case against the SEC is finished, because the SEC needs to approve the IPO, and that's kind of difficult if they're in the middle of the litigation against them, right? Coinbase at least was not in an active lawsuit when they filed for an IPO. And so Ripple being in this lawsuit, it's going to be a little bit of a sticky one for them to get that done. But most likely, a couple days after they're done with this case, it'll happen. Again, they've been preparing for it. The CEO has said it out multiple times that they're looking into it. And so eventually it will happen. What would happen to XRP and the price? At the end of the day, I'd say it opens Ripple up to a lot more of the public, right? Because a lot more of the public can buy stock. And in theory, some might say that this will be the opportunity for a lot of juicy companies to get themselves a foot in the door as well, that right now might have not gotten a specific round to buy Ripple at on the basis that they'd like to. On the contrary, I'd say that right now, if a major institution wanted to get in, perhaps it'd be easier now that it's private to get a good deal than if it's actually public. But on the contrary to that, right now Ripple's valuation is pretty high. And most likely after an IPO, it'd drop pretty quickly, pretty hard. And obviously investors know that too. Having said that, the XRP will I have so many mosquito bites, by the way, which is why I'm scratching. Not a crackhead, all right? I just have freaking mosquito bites. No, just kidding. Anyway. Should I cut that out? No, I'll leave it in. Anyway. It's going to become a lot more available to the public. I guess Ripple as a company. And from that perspective, I'm going to think here that still the majority of Ripple's control will still not be with these traditional normal XRP holders. It'll still be major companies who may or may not have their own share in XRP, even though they've got it through Ripple obviously now. From any perspective, regardless of what happens, people that get into Ripple or that now would get into Ripple or that are involved in this ecosystem, the Ripple one, not specifically XRP, will still have XRP within their best regard, regardless of the situation. It's hard to fathom a world where somebody who wants the best for Ripple will not want the best for XRP. And again, later on, I'll make a video as to why XRP and Ripple going two ways is not a bad thing, because at the end of the day, I trust the XRP vision, and I can't fully trust Ripple. You got to understand that. This is a company looking out for the company. XRP is the digital asset, all right? Two different things. Anyway, talking about the digital asset, a lot has been moved just now. 514 million XRP moved from Ripple and 𝗵𝗲𝗀 wallets sparks new sell-off concern. People are afraid. And whenever we talk about an IPO, whenever we talk about Ripple's control of XRP, whenever we talk about them, for example, going public and now the paradigm shifting, people often bring up these sell-off concerns. And I always say this: at the end of the day, you're playing a game that you'll never have a majority stake in. Most likely, none of us will have a majority stake in Ripple. Most likely, none of us will have a majority stake in XRP. Obviously, even if you got a majority stake in XRP, it doesn't give you voting power. I'm just saying that Ripple made a lot of this stuff. They got a lot of XRP at the start. They've just got themselves a frick ton. And if they're doing things, at the end of the day, guys, it still is in the best interest of XRP in the grand scheme of things. But in the process, there are also a lot of things that they could do that a true XRP holder might have never chosen for. Which is why I sometimes tell you guys, yes, XRP going away from the Ripple path is not completely bad. The only problem is Ripple would still need to have a pretty good amount of XRP to really make a lot of their endeavors worth it. But right now, what a lot of you guys were emailing me or texting me about was that the whole Ripple lawsuit was paid for with XRP, which is over the backs of XRP holders. Now, on the one end, I'd say, well, even $200 million, right, or whatever money you'd like to throw there, is worth it to get XRP the clarity. And some of you guys might say, well, but are those salaries worth it? How can we check? Did they take private jets? Do we want to fund all that? And why didn't Chris Larsen and Brad Garlinghouse pay for it? They have enough money. I don't have the perfect answers. All I can say is, at the end of the day, most investments I've seen Ripple do that they've done with XRP sales are a lot better than most other people in other communities could have arranged for it. What I mean with that is, in theory, if Ripple were to burn everything, right, all the XRP that they've got, now it's completely up to the community to get things done. And I really wonder, will that additional selling pressure, that 0. whatever percent extra selling pressure that there was, really make that big an effect for the XRP price to now be better off with Ripple not there, being a holder and being selling it? It's just some interesting thought experiment I've had multiple times. You guys let me know down below what you think. And by the way, if you're enjoying these videos, even though this one is more just thought-provoking, make sure you press that like button. I have more things that were actually news. For example, Binance halting their UK onboarding due to the FCA's approval withdrawal for approver. That sounds so difficult. It's just that the UK is in a shithole right now. And so Binance is taking the easy way out by just not accepting any users right now. That's the simplest way I can put it. And also Binance US. This is kind of scary. I'm not so sure exactly what's going on in the background, but Binance US just suspended all USD withdrawals. I'm not sure if they were on before. Perhaps this is just for himself to get a little discount after what happened to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏 with their news. Not so sure. Perhaps it's just because the banks are not allowing for it. Again, I am not so sure. And with regards to that XRP, by the way, I'm not 100% sure why exactly such crazy amounts are being moved right now. According to a transaction report by Whale Alert on October 17th, a whale moved 410 million XRP, or $200 million, from crypto exchange 𝗵𝗲𝗀 in the Netherlands. Transaction data revealed that the wallet address is activated today. Thus, it can be a new whale or an entity buying XRP. At the same time, though, Ripple did send 75 million XRP around today as well. So perhaps Ripple is working with something or somebody to get stuff set in stone for more corridors. As I've said before, one of the reasons I do appreciate these guys is because even though you're not seeing the announcement just quite yet, it could be that they've been building a lot in the background and will only get those announcements and results a little bit later. A lot of companies have said, hey, I didn't really want to work with XRP or perhaps Ripple, but now that this got some clarity, or they're out of the loop with the SEC, or once they're done fully, we're ready to hop on board there. And perhaps right now, a lot of these transfers are happening because of something that's not yet to our knowledge, right? For example, they're opening new corridors. For example, they're working with 𝗵𝗲𝗀 for the Dutch corridor. You don't know. I saw an article as well that asked, hey, how much will XRP increase in a year? And the thing is, guys, really, so much can change in a year. It's hard for people to grasp this, but 1 year can really be the difference maker. People talk about $500, this, that. I don't want to talk about price. I just want to tell you guys here, once we're back in the bull run, it's going to be pump after pump after pump after. In reality, it's just you wake up and the price is up 30% again. Next day you look and it's up 30% again. People think it feels good. It feels good to be wealthier, but it's scary, guys. Trust me when I say that the bull run will be one of the scariest points you'll ever witness, because you'll notice that if you don't take the proper action right now, the bull run is going to be over again and you've just missed the boat. It is that crucial to act accordingly and prepare yourself accordingly. I will most likely say this in every video for the next couple of weeks until the bull run perhaps starts, even though I think it officially already started. A lot of you guys seem to disagree with me here, but I don't think we'll see another dip lower than 15,000. But I will tell you guys, and I'll keep reminding you guys, please understand that we've already had 1 year of downwards pressure. It does not make sense for this to continue on forever unless it'll never go well again. Even if it takes another year, it takes another 2 years to get to the all-time high. This is still the, in my opinion, best time to get acquainted with all this stuff. Learn more about crypto, get yourself more involved to make sure that once the bull run hits, you're ready to take action to the fullest of your ability. That does not mean, invest everything you have today. This means set yourself up, set your accounts up, set your knowledge up, have a plan, all in anticipation of the big run, which is very, very close. But yeah, that's about it.